Welcome to the Street Outlaws show. If you're a fan of high-speed action, insane car builds, and edge-of-your-seat races, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a thrilling episode. We've got an incredible story lined up today, and you won't want to miss it. And remember, if you're enjoying this video, comment 1 below. But if you think we could do better, drop a 9 and let us know how we can improve. Your feedback means the world to us. Now, let's dive into one of the most epic races in the history of Street Outlaws. This isn't just any race, it's a showdown between two iconic teams, Big Chief and the Midwest Street Cars crew and the legendary Gas Monkey Garage team led by Richard Rawlings. This is a story about more than just speed. It's about innovation, grit, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. Big Chief and his crew were thrown into a race against Richard Rawlings, the mastermind behind Gas Monkey Garage, with the ultimate challenge. Build a car from scratch in just 6 weeks and race it for glory. The stakes were high, and the pressure was even higher. When the call came in from Richard Rawlings and Gas Monkey Garage, it was clear that this wouldn't be your typical race. Richard had thrown down the gauntlet. Build a car from the ground up, and race it against Gas Monkey's finest. The kicker? Both teams had only 6 weeks to get their cars ready for race day. No shortcuts, no excuses, just pure determination and hard work. For Big Chief and the crew at Midwest Street Cars, it was a daunting challenge. They had to find a car, design it, build it, and make sure it could compete with the high-performance machines coming from Gas Monkey Garage. But if there's one thing we know about Big Chief, it's that when the chips are down, he's not afraid to take on the biggest challenge. Big Chief and his team knew that this race would be different. It wasn't just about building the fastest car, it was about creating something special, something with soul. The crew had to put their hearts and minds into every single part of that car, from the engine to the chassis, to make it not just fast, but legendary. But there was a twist. With Aaron leaving Gas Monkey Garage, Richard called in Alex Laughlin, a well-known driver and car builder, to help with the project. Alex's expertise added a whole new level of skill and precision to the Gas Monkey crew. With a seasoned pro on their side, Big Chief had to step up his game. With only 8 days remaining before the race, Big Chief and his crew had to make a critical decision. What car would they build? After careful consideration, they chose a classic American muscle car that had a lot of potential for this race, a 1970 Pontiac GTO. The Pontiac GTO was a perfect choice for the build. It wasn't just any car. It was a piece of racing history, a car with incredible potential. The only problem was time. They had just 8 days to build it from scratch, and with the clock ticking, every second counted. The crew jumped into action. They started with a basic chassis and quickly got to work on the engine, wiring, and all the essential components. There was no room for error. The car had to be ready for the race, and they had no time to waste. As they worked around the clock, the pressure mounted. Every hour felt like a minute, and every minute felt like a second. But this wasn't the first time Big Chief and his team had been under pressure. They'd faced tough challenges before, and they weren't about to back down now. One of the most important elements of this build was the decision to reuse parts. Instead of starting from scratch with brand new components, Big Chief and his crew decided to get creative. They used parts from previous builds, some old, some new, that had already proven their worth on the track. It was a smart move, and it helped keep costs down without sacrificing performance. For example, the suspension system was one of the first pieces they tackled. Instead of buying new suspension components, they used parts from earlier builds that had been tested and refined over time. This wasn't just about saving money, it was about making sure the car was built for performance, using parts that had already demonstrated their capabilities. The engine was another critical piece of the puzzle. The crew chose a 482 cubic inch Pontiac engine paired with 94mm precision turbos. This combination would give the car the raw power it needed to compete on the track. But it wasn't just about raw horsepower, it was about balance. The team knew that the car had to be able to handle all that power, so they paid close attention to every detail. As the build progressed, Big Chief and his crew focused on getting every detail right. The car wasn't just about speed, it was about balance, precision, and handling. They chose a Rossler 3-speed transmission with close ratios, which would allow the car to reach top speed quickly and efficiently. This wasn't a drag car that just goes fast in a straight line. It had to be agile, responsive, and well-tuned for any challenge that came its way. The car was designed to handle up to 3,500 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful machines on the track. But it wasn't just about power, it was about making sure every component worked together to create a high-performance machine. Every part had to be perfectly tuned to ensure maximum performance, and the crew at Midwest Street Cars was determined to make it happen. One of the most iconic elements of the build was the front end of the car. Big Chief was determined to keep the look of the original Crow, the car that had launched his career and become a symbol of his journey. The front grille, the Pontiac emblem, and the overall style of the 1970 GTO were key elements that Big Chief wanted to preserve. The team worked tirelessly to recreate the original design, but they didn't stop there. They made improvements to lighten the car, including switching to carbon fiber for the body. The goal wasn't just to make the car look good. It was about preserving the spirit of the Crow while improving its performance. Big Chief understood the significance of this build. The Crow wasn't just a race car. It was a symbol of his hard work, his passion, and his journey in the world of street racing. Rebuilding it and doing it right was a way of honoring that legacy. With only hours left before the race, the team was still fine-tuning the car. The wiring wasn't finished, the suspension still needed work, and there were countless little tweaks to make. But Big Chief and his crew weren't about to let a little thing like time get in the way. They worked tirelessly, knowing that every moment was crucial. Even with the pressure mounting and the car still in the final stages of completion, the crew was determined to finish strong. They knew this race wasn't just about speed, it was about proving that their passion, creativity, and hard work could triumph over the odds. And then race day arrived. Big Chief and the crew rolled into California, ready to face off against Gas Monkey Garage. This wasn't just any race, it was the culmination of 6 weeks of hard work, sleepless nights, and unrelenting pressure. It was a race to prove that innovation, grit, and passion could compete with the best. As they lined up against Richard Rawlings and his crew, Big Chief knew this race was about more than just winning. It was about showing the world that even when the odds were stacked against them, the crew at Midwest Street Cars could build a car that could take on the best of the best. This race was one for the history books, and we're glad you were here to experience it with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the Street Outlaws show for more action, more behind-the-scenes looks, and more incredible racing. And as always, if you love this video, comment 1 below. If you think we can do better, comment 9. We always value your feedback. Stay tuned for more heart-pounding action, and thanks for being part of the Street Outlaws family. We'll see you at the next race.